Welcome to Home Team Advantage. This is Mike Egan, who's trying to get me screwed up already and it just started. And I'm Gary Giambetti.
I've just given you your memory test. If you remembered who I was.
Yeah. I had a physical on Tuesday and I had to do the memory test. And I passed the memory test. And I even passed the clock face test. So,
What's your name?
but I couldn't remember that. So they got me under observation.
So before we start, as our producer director said, we forgot to mention our sponsor last week, so we have to. Our unofficial sponsor, Caribou Coffee. And this morning you're drinking pumpkin latte.
That's it.
So what, do they have some poor kid in the back room squishing pumpkins?
I don't know. I don't ever get to see the inside back rooms of the Caribou Coffee.
I hear you have a VIP seating over there. Is that true?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Usually on Sunday mornings.
You know, when you go there, that employees, if somebody's in your chair, they go to, "Hey, you can't sit there. You gotta get out of here." Giambetti's here.
Yeah. Well, I got to I won't say what happened to him, but I got to give a shout out to Rich Ruzich because he had a little bit of an accident over the weekend and had to have some surgery and stuff. So I hope he's doing better. I'll tell you after the show what happened to him.
Okay.
But I won't go through it on the air. So I hope he's doing better. I know he's out of the hospital in Duluth and he's at home and hopefully things are healing up properly.
Good.
But
Wasn't race car related, was it?
No, nothing to do with racing.
Okay.
But we'll start with high school stuff and see if we have some time for the Twins today because that's going to be interesting, I think.
Yep.
But the football team was lost to Pequot Lakes 56-0 last week. And it was just a case of Pequot Lakes being
better,
that good.
Yeah,
they're
ranked what, fourth?
Yeah, fourth. I'm on the football poll for the state with about 7 or 8 other guys from newspapers and TVs, and I actually gave them a first place vote because that's how good I thought they were. And they're not ranked first this week when the polls came out, but they got like 2 or 3 of first place votes. And they could, there's obviously good teams in 3A, but they could have a shot at winning the state tournament or the state. We'll leave it at that. But they're just a machine. They run. They threw the ball a little bit, but Hibbing just had no answers on defense for him. And they returned that punt like 60 yards to start the game, and I think they scored 2 more touchdowns or 3 more touchdowns, and they hadn't even run 10 offensive plays. So good, and he was a nice guy to talk to, and he had a chance to put more points up at the end of the half, but he decided to not, which I thought was I thought that was very nice, very good of him to not do that, because they could have ran the score up more if they wanted to at that point. And then, of course, they only had, I think, 3 touchdowns in the second half, or two or 3. And he had all his subs in, and, so that was decent of him to do that, because a lot of teams wouldn't do that.
Well, unfortunately, Hibbing's going to run into those type of teams until they can, be a little more competitive, too. But they got a big game with ESCO coming up tomorrow. And as we were talking before the show in our pre-meeting or whatever you want to call it, they might have a shot. I don't think ESCO's that strong as they've been in the past.
No, and they lost McCoy Parrish last year to graduation.
Right.
So, but yeah, we talked about it before. That game is at 4:00 tomorrow down at ESCO. Okay. So it is at 4. Because evidently they have trouble.
They have a soccer game after? Oh, that's right. We said they had trouble with finding officials.
Yeah. So that game's at 4:00 in ESCO. So if you're interested in driving down there, don't think it's at 7. Starts at 4.
Yeah.
So.
And they got a nice facility down there too.
Oh yeah, I drove by it going down the girls' basketball playoffs last year. Yes, it's very nice.
Yep.
So good luck to them.
Girls cross country and boys cross country.
They were at the Hinckley Finlayson meet on Tuesday, and
Girls won it?
Girls won the team, and Tara Hertling was second overall to the Annika, somebody from Chisago Lakes. I should remember their names, but I don't. But those are the top two probably runners in the section. So
Should have had that test at the doctor's office.
yeah, but so that was good for them, and they had a couple others. In the, I know one other. I think Avery Kukowski was in the top 10, and then they had a couple in the top 20,
Nice.
which helped them. Yeah, they did win the team title. So congratulations to them. It's going to be a fun section when that shows up here at the end of October. Boys were fourth, I believe, and Brady Janicic was in the top 10, and Jake Wally, I believe, might have been in the top 10, and they're both running under. Well, Brady was down to like 17, 15 or something, and Jake was not too far behind him. So, and then they had two other runners, I believe, hit under 18 minutes.
Nice.
So they got to get that fifth runner though
to get the points.
Yeah.
Well, before we go on a personal note, I just wanted to say congratulations to my granddaughter. She won the junior high cross country meet down there for 7th and 8th graders.
So we got a runner coming up in the Egan family.
I don't know where she gets.
No, good. And again, running is you can be as good as you want to be.
Yep.
If you want to work at it and put the time in, you can be very good. Now it does get lonely. I get it when you're out running, but you know what? You can go places.
Yep.
You can get scholarships for running at schools and get your schooling hopefully paid for. Yep. So
she goes, Grandpa, do you have any advice for me? I go, yeah, keep everybody behind you.
That's how you do it.
Yep.
That's how you do it.
So swimming, we have.
Swimming, I thought they were in Proctor the other night, but I haven't received any results. But they had, and they don't have that. They don't swim anymore this week, and they must have True Team coming up at some point, maybe in the next week or so. And then sections will be in November. But I didn't see any results from them yet. For if they went to Proctor, I haven't seen results. Yep. So, boys soccer, they were beaten on Monday. I think there's my memory test. I need, but now I can't remember the team that they played. But they also play tonight at 4:00 at Cheever Field against Duluth Marshall.
Are you sure?
And Duluth Marshall, you want to watch. I guess if you want to watch soccer the way it's supposed to be played,
Duluth Marshall's the
Duluth
team.
Marshall's the team. Now I heard somebody told me they were down this year, but I don't know. I haven't paid much attention to it.
And unfortunately, I don't think Hibbing has won a match yet, have they?
Yes. Oh yeah, the boys have won.
Or is it the girls that have?
The girls have also. Girls, I didn't know. I didn't think they had a win, but they played last night against Two Harbors and beat Two Harbors 1-0.
Okay.
But they had also beaten Walker, Hackensack, Akeley, and they had another win. I think out in western Minnesota, either Crookston or East Grand Forks.
Did you have one of those when you were younger? A hacky sack?
No, a Hackensack. No, I didn't have a hacky sack either. But
I can't say it.
yeah. Button bar. Too bad we don't have button bars in this place.
You got to be over 18 to watch this show.
Yeah. So no, good for them. It was senior night, so the seniors went out on a positive note at home. Hopefully the boys will do the same tonight.
Were you at the soccer meet?
I was at the soccer.
How do you like it out there on the new field?
Oh, I love it out there because me personally in the press box. So
it's nice and warm.
Oh yeah. That works out well.
Yeah. Better
for me. Yeah.
Gooder.
Better. Gooder. Whatever. So that's that. Tennis beat Duluth East 5-2 on Tuesday. There again, I'm having a senior moment. So they advanced in the Section 7A AA tournament, and they play today at Blaine at 3:30. So we'll see. Hopefully they can advance one more round. But Blaine is like 18-1. Conda told me.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be difficult, but hopefully they put their games together on this all on the same day and get out of there.
I assume they're playing indoors.
Nah, probably not down at Blaine. I would
Oh.
assume they would
Okay.
be outdoors, but they could be. I mean, I didn't ask them that specifically. So, but so I think that takes care of
High school?
high school sports. College volleyball, they play Saturday at home at noon against Alexandria Tech, I believe. So if you're looking for something to do Saturday at noon, go take in the college volleyball team. And I'm thinking that basketball started.
Wow.
I'm
Already?
thinking that, yeah.
Wow.
They usually around 8 o'clock, or October, I mean, and right around the 1st. Now, maybe they haven't, but it's
Wow.
they'll be playing that. Now, they don't usually play until, later October or early November, but
Yep.
you get training camp and all that stuff, so.
So are you segueing into the Timberwolves with
Well, the
that?
Timberwolves had started their training camp, Monday or Tuesday?
And they're missing a player.
Yeah, they pulled off a big trade over the weekend, which wasn't finalized until yesterday.
Yep.
Because the Knicks had to get some cash considerations figured out.
Oh,
so they
okay.
could with other teams, I think.
Right.
So, but the Timberwolves traded Karl Anthony Towns, and I guess what's your feeling on that? I think it didn't really matter to you if they traded him or not.
Well, I think I've said on this show in the past that if they were going to trade anybody, he'd be the guy to trade. And apparently, speaking to a, can I mention this?
I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd mention it.
Okay. But
You talked to a pretty good.
I talked to a pretty good inside source that it was really a good move because he wasn't a good locker room teammate, and they've got some good players in return for him. Plus, they saved a lot of money.
Well, that's the biggest thing right there. But they did get Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo back. Plus, I know a number 1 pick, I believe.
Number 2, isn't it?
No, I think it was
Second
1.
round?
I think it was
Was
the
it?
first
Okay.
round pick from the Knicks.
And the one guy's a 3-time All-Star.
Well, Julius Randle is an animal inside. He likes to score. He's had 51 points. I think he scored against us either last year or the year before. So he's a great scorer. DiVincenzo can shoot 3. I think I heard yesterday he made the 3rd most 3-pointers in the league last year, like 252 or 253 3-pointers made last year. So they got a shooter out of him, plus he plays defense.
Yep.
And we know how Chris Finch likes to play defense and make sure his guys are all engaged on that side of the ball.
Well, you mentioned, too, that it'll be interesting to see how Karl Anthony Towns gets along with the coach.
Yeah, he's back with Tom Thibodeau. And
'Cause Thibodeau don't pull any punches from anybody. I think he expects a lot, and I think that's one of the reasons they let him go as a Timberwolf coach, because Mr. Towns didn't like him, and some of the other players didn't either. So, I mean, the guy, every time you look at him, it looks like he's mad at you.
yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Karl Anthony Towns was good for the Twin Cities. He donated a lot of his time and effort, and I think he was one of the big believers in they'd give homeless people coats, winter coats. I mean, so he was big into that kind of thing. So they're going to miss him on that side of it. Well, they're going to miss him on the court too.
Yeah, I mean, you can't fault the trade because he's good with the community. I think a lot of the players try their best to do that. But if a guy's not receptive in the locker room with the other players I just didn't like his style of play, because every time he got hit or he's whining like there's no tomorrow, and it's like Larry Bird and Kevin McHale. Go play the game. I mean, just play. Quit the damn whining and just go out and play.
Yeah, I get it, and I think he toned it down a little bit last year on that side of it. But yeah, it's and the hardest part is watching him every time he drives at the basket. When he flails himself, throws himself up there at the rim, and then all of a sudden he goes down, and I guess a lot of the NBA players do that, but he has had injury issues in the past. Now, hopefully nobody gets hurt, but like you said earlier, it's Anthony Edwards' team.
Yep.
So So it'll be interesting. It'll be fun to watch right away because I do. Julius Randle is very good.
Yep.
And they have the two rookies that are in Dillingham and Shannon, I think from Kentucky and Illinois. Yeah, maybe
Yep.
Ron wants to
No,
look
you're right.
that up.
No, that's
so
right.
They obviously I don't know how rookies what kind of impact rookies make right away, but those two seem to be NBA ready.
Yep.
So it's going to be fun. You're going to have Naz Reid's going to have a bigger role, I suppose. Jaden McDaniels will have a bigger role. They got the Joe Ingles guy from Utah who used to drill us with 3-pointers all the time.
They got a good coach.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. Is the coach is there. Then they made the run to the conference finals last year. Hopefully, they can repeat and do the same thing, and then maybe get to the NBA title game.
Well, like Bum Phillips says, we're going to kick the door in this time.
Yeah, they were knocking last year. Didn't quite. They didn't look like the same team though against Dallas.
No,
like they did against Phoenix and
Denver.
Denver, yeah.
But I think that Mr. Towns is going to be in for a rude awakening when he faces the fans in New York. Minnesota we're a little more compassionate. But the right word.
That's a good word to use. Yeah, they'll take heat out there.
Oh yeah.
In New York, I hope he has a decent year.
Let's hope so. You hope the
I
best.
hope we beat the Knicks every time. We only play them twice a year, so hopefully we beat them both times. And
play them in the third game of the preseason.
Yeah, they do play them in the preseason, and then I don't know when they have them in the regular season, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Starts tomorrow night.
All right. Before we get into our main topic, the Twins, Minnesota Vikings are playing over the pond, as they say, this weekend against one of their arch rivals, Aaron. What the hell is his last name?
Rodgers.
Yeah, you see, now you got me thinking of Aaron Judge. But so we'll, hopefully he has a bad game against them.
Well, they didn't have a very good game against Denver last week.
No.
They were playing at home and scored 9 points.
Yeah.
I mean, against Denver, and Denver is not very good.
I was so. Did you watch a Viking game?
I watched. Yeah, I saw it.
How many times did you throw something at the TV in the second half?
Not really. Well, I knew what happened. I mean, like I said, I don't watch them live.
No.
I record them. If they win, I watch.
You got a team down, you're up by 20-some points, and then you decide to start playing prevent defense, and everything goes to hell. If they would just continue playing the way they were, they would have outscored them by 40 points.
Well, I'll say this. I did, in that third quarter, I think Darnold threw that interception. That guy dove and caught it. According to CBS that game was on?
Yes.
According to their rules analyst, that should not have been an interception because he did not have control of it when his body hit out of bounds. He was still he wasn't making a football play. So right then, I don't know why they didn't.
Because it's Green Bay.
Why? Yeah, I don't know why they didn't review it though. I mean, unless he didn't have any reviews left. But that guy who does the rules actually said that he didn't think that was an interception. So that would have at least given us, 3 points, if not 7.
Okay.
After that, because they were driving pretty well when that happened.
You're 4th and 1, field goal puts you up by 12, and you go for it and don't get it. Now you're up by 9. So you gave them an opportunity to come back and win the game, basically.
Oh, definitely.
And lucky they got the onside kick.
Well, and I think personally I would have kicked the field goal, but I'm not coaching in the league, so I have no say in the matter. But I would have kicked the field goal to go up by 12.
Yep.
Then for sure it's probably sealed. I understand why he does it. I mean, he has belief in his team that they can get a yard, but they ran 2 plays and couldn't get a yard.
Right.
And whether or not they got a bad spot on the 4th down, you can argue till the cows come home.
Yeah.
But I think the guys, after watching it, I think the guy's knee hit before he stretched out the ball. So he was a yard short. If they're going to count the knee, now they got to be more consistent on that. Do you count the knee or do you count the ball?
Yep.
Okay.
It's supposed to be the knee.
Well, the college football, it's the knee.
Yep.
usually in the pros, they mark the ball.
The ball, yeah. But
You know, so that's got to be more consistent.
the point I was trying to make is that if you got a team down, you're up by 28-0,
Mm,
you don't let off the pedal. You go and you get that the killer instinct. You got to go do it, and that's how successful teams win.
mhm.
So
Well, and I'm going to say this. I did turn it over live when I did watch it the last 2.5 minutes of the game live. And after I think I turned it over just before they turned the ball over on downs. And they had the ball, Green Bay has the ball on the 3-yard line. How the heck do you let them travel 97 yards in 4 or 5 plays?
that's that prevent defense.
It prevents you from, like we say, it prevents
Prevents
you
you from winning.
But Harrison Smith,
Missed a tackle.
he got burned so badly by that guy on that big pass down, and it got him inside the 20.
Yep.
And everybody keeps touting his abilities. But if you're a safety, and he's been good for the Vikings over
Yeah.
the years, but now he's getting older.
I was going to say there's a 3-letter word there and it's AGE.
Yeah. How he let that guy catch that receiver catch that ball is just beyond me. I mean, I looked at my son and said, and my son gets disgusted with me, but I said he should retire right now because that should not have happened.
Yep.
I'm sorry. And they left the middle of the field wide open again on that last 2-minute drive by the Packers, and Jordan Love got big chunks of yardage, and I don't know why Brian Flores decided to call off the dogs. He should have just kept
them on.
them on there.
Put the pedal to the metal, baby.
And especially when the ball's on the 3, blitz.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to say, but send 5 or 6 guys
Yep.
down there. You might get a safety out of the deal.
Well, we'll hopefully they'll have better luck over in London.
Yeah,
Mate.
you're giving up a home game
Yeah.
to go to London.
Before you go to the Twins, talk about that Hall of Fame thing last Saturday.
Oh, yeah, we did have the Hall of Fame. We might not get to the Twins then because we did have the Hall of Fame ceremony on Saturday at the Memorial Arena. Thanks to Ron, he videotaped it, and
Is that still available?
I gotta get it edited and
Oh.
it'll be up.
yeah, he'll edit it and get it on. So my advice is to watch it because it was a fantastic evening watching all those people go into the Hall of Fame. And I don't want to start naming them because I probably could name them all, but I'll forget something. I'll forget somebody's name. But it was a fantastic night. They all deserved it. They all were very good athletes for Hibbing High School, and so take a look at it when you can, because they all had some good stories to tell.
Okay.
Some short and some long, babe.
Wow, that's calling them out. I was going to say the other one was the Gophers in Michigan.
Yeah, they got robbed on that one.
Well, I know ran a story the other day saying the Big Ten has now changed its position on where referee. Well, what good does that do now?
Yeah.
I mean, the Gophers shouldn't have fallen behind like they did, but they played better than Michigan in the second half, and then they recovered the onside kick,
Yes.
and they
First
called
one.
them for offside.
His helmet was like, what, a millimeter supposedly over the line. And how a side judge can see that is beyond me.
Yeah.
And-
So what does that mean? Does that mean that not the fix was in, but
That just means you're playing in the big house and
Yeah.
Michigan's supposed to win.
yeah,
That's what it means. Let's be honest about it.
yeah.
You know, you got 100,000 people screaming at you. Oh, there you go.
Throw the flag
Yeah.
right at a very crucial time of the game. Twins again. Well, we got a few minutes, but
Twins got rid of all their batting
coaches.
I think their pitching coach is going to go. And be honest, and you know my feelings about Rocky Balboa. Rocky needs to take a knee and get going and go. And the ownership.
Well,
When you really think about it, maybe it's time to pull that look at getting and selling this team to somebody that wants to make it a contender again.
yeah, and especially after last year when they actually won a playoff series and got into the second round.
Oh, shoot, sorry about that. That's Harold Polad.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
Who are you?
yeah, to tell.
What's it mean when they send you a picture of a screw with a U through it?
But the revenue you must have made last year during just those playoff
Yep.
games, and then you decide you're going to cut payroll, and
And then you go out and sign, Buxton's a good player, but you don't sign guys for 7 years for, trillions of dollars, and you don't, they don't have any pitching. They let their star pitcher go.
one of them.
And I just don't think their manager is very good at not only how he works his pitchers and uses them, but just their overall concept of how they play the game.
Yeah.
You got a running team. You got basically guys that can run. Nobody on the team knows how to bunt. And it just Royce Lewis and Correa doesn't run a hit out down the first baseline, basically telling everybody in the stands, well, we're done for the year.
Well,
And he's supposed to be their guy.
yeah.
So,
And I was going to say something, and now I can't remember what it was.
sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's all right. Well, yeah, they can watch Detroit and Kansas City move
Yep.
on in the playoffs, which the two teams did last night, and
Yeah, basically upsets.
yeah. So, hopefully everybody comes back next year and they add a few pieces,
Yep.
and we'll hopefully right the ship and get back in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
If I were a team, I would not want to be playing the Detroit Tigers.
Mhm.
I mean, they're actually on a pretty good roll right now. So,
So, well, that does it for another episode of Home Team Advantage. For Mike Egan, I'm Gary Gimbetti. We'll see you again next week on Home Team Advantage.
I sure like to know how the teams got my phone number.
For over 25 years, U.S. Bank, located at 211 East Howard Street in Hibbing, Minnesota, has provided office and studio space for Hibbing Public Access Television. We are thankful for their ongoing support. HPAT thanks Premier Fitness at the Lux for their donation and support. They welcome individual and family memberships. To learn more, call them at 218-440-1191. Up North Lettering specializes in embroidery and heat vinyl press applications, along with patches and letter jackets. For more information, call them at 218-966-7850. HPAT would like to thank them for their donation and support. Hibbing Public Access Television is thankful for the donation and support of Hard Rock Liquor, located at 2826 First Avenue in Hibbing. And remember, it's where the party starts.